What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
We were still in the experimental phase of this system, so it was hard to declare that we had gathered enough information. There were strong players in this world like Hakuro, who had an existence value of only roughly 60,000 but was capable of defeating powerful opponents whose existence values were many times higher than his own. Datta was an even more notable exception since he had an existence value of less than 20,000, making him part of the A rank's lowest class, but he was still more powerful than Gozer and Mezer, who each had an existence value of roughly 130,000. It had become common knowledge that an existence value was merely a broad guide because there were so many examples of these types of situations. By the way, the Freedom Association hierarchy is likewise connected to existence values in Tempest. E-class has less than 1,000. D-class covers the range of 1,000 to under 3,000. C-class covers the range of 3,000 to under 6,000. B-class covers the range of 6,000 to under 8,000. Between 8,000 and fewer than 9,000 is the B+ class. A- class covers the range of 9,000 to under 10,000. One would join the first-class ranks if they could climb the enormous high wall that rises from this point. When an A-class existence value exceeds 10,000, it is said to be hazard class. The special A-class, or calamity class, is defined as more than 100,000. The minimum value for individuals who have acquired the Demon Lord seed is 200,000. Before their pseudo-awakening, Rimuru believes that Clayman and Frey would have had an existence value of about 400,000. This led to the definition of the disaster class, or S-class equivalent, as having an existence value larger than 400,000. In Tempest, the S-class does not mean demon lords. Since numerous chief executives possess strength comparable to that of the ancient demon lords, everyone at this level was designated as S-class for the purposes of clarity and convenience. From this point forward, the Jura Tempest Federation is the exclusive user of the standards. Since Gi and true dragon species are the only beings classified as belonging to the catastrophe class, the Jura Tempest Federation defines the other awakened transcendents using the special S-class. Although it was originally stated that the pseudo-awakened Clayman possessed an unstable quantity of magicules, he was about 700,000 to 800,000, right? Rimuru had made that observation previously. According to Rimuru's declaration, a special S-class was classified as having an existence value of 800,000 or higher. Moreover, it was determined that they would be referred to as the million class, for simplicity of comprehension since some of them had existence values greater than 1 million. Just to be clear, regardless of who summons an archdemon, its existence value is only 140,000. As though there is a set upper limit, the number is consistent. A value of 140,000 was established for the first existence of Testarossa and the others. Ramiris and the others were certain of this, even though there was no way to verify it.
No way, it's a seraph. I never expected it to be a super awakened.
Ramiris had stopped abruptly midway through her speech, clearly shocked. With a nod in return, Beretta continued her explanation.
The highest angel, huh? That's not good. Even those following our S-class. It might be tough to intercept them while the floor guardians are still sleeping.
But, we must take action.
Ramiris answered quickly. Trainee answered, giving her a gentle smile as if to soothe her.
Yes, Lady Ramiris, that is right. That being the case, give me permission to confront the enemy.
Triss got up to follow her, as did Tria.
Obviously, I'll accompany you.
I'm coming with you, sister.
When Ramiris heard this, she panicked even more instead of being calmer.
Hey, hold on a second. Despite your increased strength, you are still outnumbered by them.
No issue. Since existence values are only approximations, let us seize this chance to demonstrate to everyone the power of Lady Ramiris's followers.
Strong nods of agreement were given by Tria and Triss. Ramiris wished she could stop her, but she didn't have an option. However, she believed it was unacceptable to put solely her adored trainee sisters at risk.
It remains incorrect. We should only engage in combat that we can win, according to Rimuru and Master.
She knew how to use the labyrinth to give herself more time. In theory, things ought to improve in some way. Ramiris was close to breaking out from this world. Cherries gave her an unpleasant rebuke.
Lady Ramiris, I have a feeling it will be quite hard for you to bide your time. We can't allow them to approach the Guardian slumber level because if we do, they could damage the vital infrastructure. That's why I believe we ought to intercept them. With your permission, I would like to go out myself as well.
With Veldora gone, Cherries was the only person in this area with true strength. For this reason, he made the decision that he needed to take action.
I shall leave you in charge of defending Lady Ramiris, Lord Beretta.
Understood. Let me handle Lady Ramiris.
That was not something Beretta needed to hear. He felt that he was the only one who could keep Ramiris safe if the trainee sisters left. So did Alpha and the others. All in the room sprang to their feet at once, promising to keep Ramiris safe. Shinji and the others shouted too, not to be outdone.
We'll give it our all, too.
Oh, indeed. We owe it to them since we've been taken care of here.
I agree. We'll try our hardest even if we die because we have the resurrection bracelet.
That's true. We Imperial warriors should have been executed a long time ago, but now we have a chance to prove ourselves.
It's correct. Master Gadro will be upset with me if I don't.
The 5 men struck up a light conversation in the face of such a powerful foe, and the atmosphere in the control room relaxed. Ramiris took a deep breath and smiled as well.
Should that be the case, then exert every ounce of effort. There's no need to spare anything since even if you die, you can return to life with me. Make sure you win, since I'll send Dragon Lord Chan and the others to you.
Each person gave a nod of approval. They then went promptly into action, adhering to their designated tasks. Zelario, the leader of Phantom King Feldway's men, was the intruder that Ramiris and the others had detected. Zelario was formerly a seraph, but he was one of the 3 Phantom commanders, ruling over the Phantoms alongside the other 2. None of them would ordinarily be able to be on the front lines. They were all marshals in charge of strong armies. Feldway, on the other hand, had given him a firm order this time. Seize the chance presented by Velgrin's demolition of the labyrinth, and ensure that the target is eliminated. Feldway had informed him of the consequences facing the Imperial troops in case they attempted to invade the labyrinth. Zelario had come himself, having concluded that inexperienced warriors would only cause problems. There were 5 generals with him. They were phantoms because, having been originally high-ranking angels like cherubs and thrones, they had amassed a magicule count equivalent to demon lords. Their bodies were more susceptible in contrast, but given the labyrinth setting, this posed no issue. The suppression of mana diffusion would allow them to reach their maximum potential. Now that Zelario was moving through the labyrinth, he was obviously interrupted. He could feel the space changing as soon as he discovered the steps and descended to the basement. Zelario and his group assessed the situation calmly. What materialized before them was a confined, empty space. They observed 8 individuals in the center of the space.
Ha ha ha. It appears like some have arrived to greet us. We have to maintain our manners. Send your greetings.
The generals under Zelario's command nodded silently at his remarks. After drawing nearer together over time, the 2 factions finally stopped short of a direct confrontation. It was Trainee who moved first.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I, Trainee, and Cherries here, welcome you on behalf of Lady Ramiris, the Labyrinth's master. Since you weren't invited, may I just ask who you are and why you're here?
Although Trainee smiled when she talked, her eyes were not grinning at all. She was vigilant and prepared to deal with any situation that arose. When she came here, Trainee was already fully strengthened. She had taken possession of the Spirit King of the Wind summoning ability and made it her own. She had only been in possession of Sylphid, a higher spirit, during the time of her protracted battle with Laplace. Given that, Trainee had been demonstrating her depth right away. In terms of existence value, the Spirit King contains almost 1 million magicules. Trainee, whose existence value as a human was barely 600,000, would be severely burdened by boarding with that much power in her body. But this was the labyrinth. You could die here and still come back to life. Without concern for the strain on her body, she could face her opponent with all of her strength. Standing a single step behind Trainee, Cherries had no concerns about this. He wouldn't be scared even if his opponent had more than twice as many magicules as he did. This was due to Charis's constant preparation for combat against Veldora's formidable presence. In this world, people like Gobta were capable of defeating opponents with several times their own power. Not to mention that Cherries had trustworthy company now, therefore he was confident he would win. The same applied to the Dragon Lords. As a reward, Rimuru had given them names, and they had developed into devoted servants of Ramiris. Their strength was worth 700,000 in existence value. They would surely be able to make it to the Special S class with more practice. In fact, instead of being afraid, they were eager to see how strong they might become. Along with Tria, Triss had finished the process of identification with Sylphid, the Maiden of the Wind. Triss was to cover Trainee and Cherries, while Tria was to collaborate with the Dragon Lords against the enemies behind Zelario. Despite his relatively low existence value of 400,000, Beretta was an exceptional combatant. Even though he was an excellent fighter, he had to continue serving as Ramiris's bodyguard. As a result, this was the strongest lineup the Labyrinth could send out at the moment. If this faction was vanquished, Rigurd, Gobta, and the other remaining groups would then have to engage in full-scale combat. They were still assembling forces for the following level, so someone had to buy some time for that. They all had no intention of losing, of course.
I'm surprised by this. I've heard that the Labyrinth doesn't have much more battle strength. I never imagined seeing people with such power. Interesting. Incredibly funny. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. Zalario is my name. I am one of Phantom King Feldway's 3 Phantom Commanders. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Zalario bowed, folding elegantly at the waist. He moved with grace and dexterity, befitting a renowned performer on stage. But what he said was not from the bottom of his heart. He had a condescending and inconsiderate demeanor toward Trainee and the others. He was treating them with such a condescending demeanor that he was paying no attention to the Labyrinth members. His genuine thoughts were simply too evident. Though Trainee was irritated by this, she was not stupid enough to become furious over it. Despite her mistake against Laplace, she attempted to maintain her composure and carry on the conversation.
I see. So, among the 3 Phantom Commanders, you are Zalario. With all due respect, I am not familiar with you.
When Trainee talked a little provocatively, Zalario smiled broadly at her.
That's true. We're well known in other worlds, but we've been gone for a long time in this one. We must now be strangers in this world, I suppose.
You say strangers?
Yes, so we will not seek satisfaction in that aspect. You did inquire as to our purpose for being here, right? Naturally, I will inform you since having your assistance will save us a great deal of labor.
It depends on the subject matter.
That's okay. Eliminating Masayuki Hanju, the boy, is our objective. Should you hand him over to me without concealing him, I will back off.
Zalario's amiable appearance gave way to a delicate, feminine voice when he declared his plan to murder Masayuki. Not a single person would agreeably nod their head, considering that Masayuki was Trainee's and the others' indispensable companion as well as Rimuru friend.
What a joke. I regret to inform you that the talks have come to an end.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
Zalario was clearly not disappointed, as seen by his jovial laughter. And then, all of a sudden, the combat started.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Just a Guy, Misael W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, J. Rule, Sayonori, Liel Tiram, Leiron Sangkap, Eric Haaz, Christopher Mash, Aditya Vyas, Samuel Ward, Faiz Mansour, Arod Dare. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.